Hi YouTubers, it's Agony today. So I'm in the garage again. So I'm at my parents' house, so I want to do a video right now. This is actually going to be the special video, the 8 years since I started smoking video. So heads up, it's going to be a very long video, so if you're going to want into watching long videos, click off right now. And heads up, this video will be split into probably 2 or 3 parts, depending how long it is. Hopefully it won't make it longer than 45 minutes. So basically, I turned the camera or iPad already and said hi, and basically the way this video works in regards to the Word document, which is right here, is I will be reading out the Word document, and most people who are familiar with my channel know how my anniversary videos work. I discuss, what I've noticed health-wise, what I've noticed for tobacco, what I've tried for tobacco, that kind of stuff. So I hopefully will make this video pretty concise and pretty right to the point. Anyway, so I said hi, and I also explained how the video will work. If you're wondering why I'm looking down at the video, or looking down at the notes rather, I'm not ignoring you guys. Don't take the no eye contact as being rude. It's just because I'm looking down at the notes. I know some people on YouTube are very picky and will take the no eye contact as me being rude, but also keep in mind I have high functioning autism myself, so I'm not somebody who gives eye contact in general. So, I want to discuss right now what I have smoked or used for tobacco products in the last 8 years. So in the last 8 years, I have smoked or used cigarettes, cigarillos, tobacco blunts, cigars, little cigars, pipes, hookah, nasal snuff, and e-cigarettes. So I have tried a lot of tobacco products. I've tried e-cigarettes, pipes, like Meerschaum, Briar, corncob pipes. I've tried hookah, I've tried e-cigarettes. I have tried cigarillos, I've tried tobacco blunts like White Owls, I have tried little cigars like DeJarms, I have tried nasal snuff, which you sniff off your hand. I've tried premium cigars, so that's what I've tried in the last 8 years. Now I want to make this very clear, I don't chain smoke, I don't chain tobacco use. So basically, even though I've tried a lot of tobacco products, I explain this every time, even though I may have tried cigarettes, cigars, cigarillos, little cigars, I don't chain use. So I'm not somebody who, sits with a cigar in my mouth all day long and smokes 10 cigars a day, 10 hookahs a day, 10 pipes a day. I'm somebody who may have tried a lot of tobacco products, may have experimented with a lot of tobacco products, but not somebody who habitually uses these products all day long. Also, I don't smoke cigarettes anymore, so that's something I want to get across for everyone who's wondering. I know a lot of people have requested me trying cigarettes again. I'm not going to be trying cigarettes again. So, I have tried cigarettes in the past. I've tried Marlboro, Newport, that kind of stuff. I am no longer a cigarette smoker. I've been cigarette free for a long time, several years, so I'm not somebody who's going to be a cigarette smoker, and I don't smoke cigarettes anymore. I want to explain, why and how I don't chain smoke. So currently I smoke 1 pipe in the morning, 1 cigar in the afternoon, that's it. So I smoke 2 times a day. So while I may have tried a lot of tobacco products, I don't habitually use. I'm not somebody who smokes 20 cigars a day, and I know people are going to troll me and flame me and say, "You're lying, dude." Whatever, dude. Don't be a smartass like the big ass cigar. I'm somebody who uses two tobacco products a day. 1 pipe in the morning with a cup of coffee, and 1 cigar in the afternoon with a glass of wine. So, I'm somebody who is a moderate, everyday pipe and cigar smoker. I want to explain how I quit cigarettes regularly almost 7.5 years ago. So, I was never a big time cigarette smoker. I tried cigarettes. I know a lot of people think, oh, Smoking Essie was this pack a day, pack and a half a day smoker, and now he smokes pipes and cigars. No. I tried cigarettes just because I was 18 years old and I was dumb and I was stupid and I was young. I tried it, I had a cigarette, I would puff it, I wouldn't even inhale. I just, smoke a cigarette. I never liked them. I would smoke Newports or Marlboro Reds. And it was just something I did when I was 18 because I was dumb. I never got hooked, I never got addicted because I didn't inhale. I'm not somebody who is a habitual, chain heavy smoker, smoking a pack and a half a day, going like that. I'm just somebody who, tried cigarettes, and I off and on used them for about a year or so. So I had my first cigarette in May of 2009. And then I quit them regularly on a daily basis, and I only smoke 1 or 2 cigarettes a day, by the way, not 1 or 2 packs, 1 or 2 cigarettes, by the way. Let's see, in November 2009, and then in May of 2010, I quit cigarettes altogether. I stopped smoking them altogether, I threw away all my cigarettes, and I was done with them. And then, as of June of 2013, I had my last cigarette. So I've been cigarette free now for almost 4 years. So I hate cigarettes. They're disgusting. They smell bad. They taste bad. They're bad for you. They have a really nasty taste. I mean, they smell terrible. They're terrible for your lungs. They're super expensive. They're super addictive. They're bad. I want to explain how I explained how I quit them regularly in November 2009. I was never a pack-a-day smoker, pack-and-a-half-day smoker. I was somebody who would, sit on the deck and have 1 or 2 cigarettes and puff them. I didn't even inhale. And that's the point where I got cross, is I did not inhale cigarettes. So, oh, sorry, the oil burner. So November 2009, I quit them on a regular basis every single day. And then I would smoke them occasionally, like have a cigarette with a friend or something like that. And then May 2010 is when I quit them altogether. And then, with a few exceptions here and there, I smoked maybe like 1 cigarette every 3 months or something like that. And then as of June 2013, like I was saying, I have been entirely cigarette free. My last cigarette was a Marlboro Light or Marlboro Gold in June of 2013, right before my surgery for my colostomy bag. Which goes, and that was my last cigarette. So I've been entirely cigarette free for almost 4 years. So this June will be 4 years. I want to discuss now what I've never used for tobacco products. So I have never used chewing tobacco, dipping tobacco, snus or snus, American or Swedish. I've never used dissolvable tobacco products. I've never used patches or gum or any kind of quit smoking aids. So chewing tobacco, meaning plug, twist, Chosky, Fleejowski, never used. Dipping tobacco, moist snuff, Copenhagen, Skoal, Grizzly, that kind of stuff, never used. Snus, or some people pronounce it snus, American or Swedish, I've never used. So I've never used American or Swedish snus, so never tried snus. And the point I'm trying to make is oral smokeless tobacco products like chew, dip, and snus, never tried. Dissolvable tobacco products, never tried. Like the Camel dissolvable, the sticks, the strips, never tried. Patches, gum, or any kind of quit smoking aids, never tried. So I've never tried any kind of quit smoking aids like the patch, the gum, the lozenges, the inhaler, because I have no interest in quitting smoking. I'm somebody who, if it came down to it in the end, would rather see myself develop something and go through treatment as opposed to quit smoking. You get the point. So, not getting too into that because it's kind of scary. But I've never tried chew, dip, snus, dissolvables, patches, gum. My favorite tobacco products as right now are the pipe and the cigar. And I want to make a point also that I do not use hookah, I don't use snuff anymore, I don't use any kind of smokeless tobacco products anymore. I only use the tobacco pipe, which you put in the bowl of the pipe, not rolling tobacco, not cigarette tobacco, and I don't roll my own cigarettes. So I'm somebody who only smokes tobacco pipes, meaning briar, clay, meerschaum pipes, or burner, and cigars, meaning premium cigars. Also, I don't use gas station cigars anymore. Gas station cigars like Swisher Sweets, Black and Mild, Game, Phillies. I'm not somebody who uses those tobacco products anymore, just because they're really kind of crappy and shitty. So, what was I going to say? So yeah, my favorite tobacco products as of now are the tobacco pipe, the briar, clay, meerschaum pipe, and the cigar. I'm somebody who is a premium cigar smoker, not a gas station cigar, crappy Black and Mild smoker. So, favorite type of pipes as current are briar and corncob pipes. So, I really like briar pipes and corncob pipes. Actually, as recent, I'm somebody who's really beginning to like just basic briar pipes. I don't really smoke enough nowadays to really enjoy, spending $100 to $150 on a new pipe. I haven't bought a new pipe for over a year now. I think the last time I bought a pipe was fall 2015, and I really enjoy just a simple briar pipe or a simple corncob. I'm not somebody who's into the extravagant, like Lord of the Rings, Hobbit pipes. You get the point. My favorite types of cigars are Churchill, Toro, Robusto, anything with a small, air quotes, small ring gauge. I'm not into those big fat cigars, you look like you're sucking a you-know-what, big ass cigar for life. I'm not into those huge, giant, like 60, 70, 80, 90 ring gauge cigars. Also not into like little tiny cigars like Lanceros, because those have a very tight draw in general. I'm into, I'd say 48 to 54 ring gauge. So between a 46 and a 54 ring gauge. That's pretty cool. So the next thing I want to talk about is what I have tried for pipe tobacco. So I have tried aromatic, English, Balkan, Virginia, Vapor, Burley, English aromatics, etc., etc. So I've tried a lot of pipe tobaccos, a hell of a lot. I tried aromatic, English, Balkan, Virginia, Vapor, Burley, English aromatics, crossover blends, hybrids, Virginia Periques, Burley Periques, that kind of stuff. So I've tried generally everything that's out there. So unless you make like some really weird like custom blend, I've tried all the available pipe tobaccos for a pipe, not rolling tobacco. So I've tried all the aromatic, flavored, non-flavored, crossover blends, English blends. You get the point. I want to make a point that I've tried a hell of a lot of pipe tobaccos. I haven't tried like 10,000, but I've tried a lot of pipe tobaccos. I have tried currently 260. So I have kept track of how many pipe tobaccos I've tried because on my YouTube channel I reviewed almost everything I've smoked. I have tried 260 pipe tobaccos. That's the point. First page is done. Next thing I want to talk about is my favorite type of pipe tobacco as of right now. My favorite type of pipe tobacco. So currently my favorite type of pipe tobacco, I really don't have a favorite right now. It used to be Luxury Bullseye Flake, and before that was Harford Monda. Currently, I'm really into the Dunhill tobaccos. Those are going outside of the United States again, but I'm really into the Dunhill tobaccos. They're very good, very easy to pack, and I'm definitely somebody who is definitely a Dunhill smoker. Nice big-ass Dunhill, like the big-ass pipe. I'd say Dunhill tobaccos is what I've been smoking over the last, several weeks, month or so, couple months. Definitely Dunhill tobaccos, like 965, Nightcap, Elizabeth and Mixture, that kind of stuff. What I've tried for cigars, Maduro, Nashville, Oscuro, Connecticut, that kind of stuff. I have tried those for cigars. I've tried the majority of cigars. I'm not into like the crazy like barber pole cigars, but I definitely have tried the majority of types of cigars. And I wouldn't consider myself like a cigar snob or expert. I really hate people who are cigar snobs. They come off as real dicks. So I'd say Maduro, Nashville, Oscuro, that kind of stuff. Pretty cool. Next thing I want to talk about is I have tried a lot of cigars. I want to make the point that I have tried a lot of cigars, probably 100 to 200, maybe 300 cigars. I'm not somebody who reviews the crazy amount. I'm not a Brian Glenn. I'm not somebody who is reviewing 3 new cigars a week, trying thousands of cigars. I've probably tried a couple hundred. And I have tried a lot of expensive cigars. I've tried a lot of cheap cigars. You get the point. Let's see, how many different types of cigars have I tried roughly? I'd say in terms of roughly, I'd say probably around that like 150 mark. I'd say like 150 cigars. I can't be sure. I'm not going to do the time and the money, not the time, you get the point. I'm not going to take the time to really count every cigar I've had, but I'd say around that like 100 to 200 mark. Next thing I want to talk about is what I've noticed health-wise. So, in the last 8 years, because today is 8 years since I started smoking, it's also my 26th birthday, if I didn't make that clear. So today is my 26th birthday, April 3rd, 2017. Is what I have noticed health-wise. So, in the last 8 years since I started pipe and cigar smoking, what have I noticed in terms of health? Because obviously pipe and cigar smoking is unhealthy. So, the things I've noticed really is a dry mouth, dry gums, dry throat, waking up with a little bit of a scratchy throat, getting a little bit of irritation in my mouth, maybe getting a little bit of like a gag, like a little bit of a reflux, and maybe, definitely if I smoke too much or if I smoke too frequently, I do get a little bit of a cough. So, really, let me just explain to make it very clear, because obviously people are going to come after me, the trolls, the health Nazis, are come after me and say, you're killing yourself. Big ass cigar for life. So the dry mouth is probably the most significant thing. Kind of like an irritation. Because smoke is an irritant, that's why it's bad for you. So I'm not a doctor, not a big ass, Dr. Big Ass Cigar. So I definitely have a little bit of a dry mouth, kind of like dry lips. I use chapstick to help my lips get more less dry, especially in the colder weather. I notice my throat's a little bit more sensitive to the colder weather. Definitely waking up with a little bit of a scratchy throat, especially if I smoke a little bit too much. I notice I wake up with a little bit like a cough in the morning, which is very common for smokers. I notice especially if I smoke really fast or have my pipe too hot, a little bit of irritation in the corners of my mouth. So definitely that kind of stuff due to holding the pipe a certain way. Also, I'd say in general, if I smoke too much, this is what I'm getting to next, is if I smoke too much, like 2 cigars a day, 2 pipes, I definitely do get like a smoker's cough. So the next thing I want to talk about is about how if I notice when I smoke too often, I get a smoker's cough, which is not good. So back in last fall, when I did the 7.5 years since I started smoking video on my 25th and a half birthday, I was getting almost like a smoker's cough and a gag and a reflux, and that was from smoking too much. So I notice, even if I don't inhale the smoke, if I smoke too frequently, like 3, 4, 5 times a day, I do get especially in the morning, like a smoker's cough. So definitely moderation is a key, and that's another thing I want to explain is moderation. And definitely keeping the smoking to 2 times a day, maybe 3 times a day at the most. I am smoking 1 pipe a day, 1 cigar, but definitely if I smoke too frequently, I do get congestion, like mucus in my nose, and I also do get a cough. Next thing I want to talk about is how I have heavily cut down on smoking since my health scare. I know a lot of people have noticed because I had the high blood pressure scare last fall or early last winter, and also had the cough. So I've definitely cut heavily down on smoking. I've also improved my diet quite a bit, the gluten-free diet. I've lost almost 10 pounds. Yeah, definitely that was also due to the fact that I was on low dose medication for my psychiatric issues, and I was really not happy. I mean, I was smoking too much, I was eating too much, and I was also too hyped up and manic. So, yeah, not a very good combination. So I've cut back from like 3 or 4 times a day to 2 times a day on smoking. So I want to talk about my current health after cutting down on smoking as of April 3rd, 2017, or 2017. And basically, my health is a lot better. I still get a little bit of the cough in the morning from smoking a little bit too fast. And I notice if I do smoke too fast, I do get a little bit of that cough and gag. But I definitely have noticed my health has improved. Less coughing, less congestion and mucus in my nose. And I've also noticed definitely less irritation in my mouth. So the cutting down on smoking has greatly helped. It hasn't gone everything away, but it has definitely helped. So I have the cutting down on smoking and also improving my diet and treating my celiac disease, and also being on higher dose of medication for my psychiatric, my bipolar, has definitely helped. The next thing I want to talk about is how I do get almost like a smoker's gag and reflux, and that's from usually smoking too fast or taking too deep puffs. If you kind of take a puff and you not inhale, but you kind of bring it to the back of your throat, and you kind of let it hit on the back of your throat. It can give you a little bit like a cough, like a gag and a cough. It is a very nice feeling. I do like a throat hit. I'm somebody who definitely likes a throat hit or exhale through my nose. I do notice when I exhale through my nose, I do get a little bit more of that, a little bit of that gag and mucus because you are letting more of the smoke go down to your throat, into your nasal cavity, and also to your lungs probably also. So definitely taking smaller puffs, smoking slower, in moderation. So I want to talk about what I do to reduce my health risks. So moderation, not inhaling, smoking in a ventilated space, not smoking cigarettes anymore, rinsing my mouth out with water after I smoke, good oral hygiene, having my dentist check my mouth for oral cancer. So definitely I'd say moderation is a key. Not smoking 4 or 5 times a day. Not inhaling, because pipes and cigars are not meant to be inhaled, despite what some people say on YouTube. Smoking in a ventilated space, not smoking in the garage with the door closed where it's all smoky. Also, not smoking cigarettes anymore. Quitting cigarettes, staying far away from cigarettes. Rinsing my mouth out with water after I smoke to help the water kind of rinse out my mouth and get the tar out of my mouth. Also, practicing good oral hygiene, brushing my teeth twice a day, rinsing with mouthwash twice a day, and flossing once or twice a day. Having my dentist check my mouth for, oral cancer, having regular checkups with my doctor and my dentist to have my mouth inspected, just in case something came up. I also want to discuss, I don't inhale pipes and cigars, pipe and cigar smoke, and it's not meant to be inhaled. So, despite what some people say on YouTube, the tobacco smoke inhaling zealots, as I used to call them back in the day, if you remember that from a long time back, pipe and cigar smoke is not meant to be inhaled. It will make you cough your brains out, your effing brains out. It's not meant to be inhaled. It's too strong. It's not filtered for the majority of it. So the majority of pipe and cigar smoke is not filtered. It makes you cough your effing brains out. So for people, and most of those people who tell you to inhale are either cigarette smokers, they're marijuana smokers, or they're, I guess, hookah smokers maybe, but I mean, the majority of them are cigarette and marijuana smokers, and a lot of them are pot smokers. They're telling you to inhale, so, because they want a really strong high. So that's not what pipe cigars are about. They're about the taste and flavor. So I want to talk about what my doctor and dentist say about my smoking. So my dentist has commented in the past, I'm not going to use his name obviously, your gums look a little puffy. He has said your gums look a little puffy, no changes in the soft tissue, but your gums look a little irritated. My doctor has said my lungs do sound fine, so far, even though I do get a little bit of a cough, my lungs sound fine. So my dentist, I'm not going to use his name obviously, says my teeth and gums as of October 2016 look fine. Maybe a little on the puffy side, but aside from that, there is no change in soft tissue, no red spots yet, because I know Pipe Friend got those after about 10 years of pipe and cigar smoking on a regular basis. There's maybe a little bit of irritation done, but nothing serious, no gum disease, no oral cancer, no periodontal disease, that kind of stuff. That's as of October 6, 2016. Obviously, they have to advise me to quit. That's a medical obligation, your legal medical obligation. They have to say, you really should quit. They should say, do you check your mouth on a regular basis for potentially serious or suspicious signs? That's the point. My doctor, I'm not going to use his name obviously, has said, you really should quit smoking. It's not good for you. It is a big concern for you long term because there is that risk of potentially cancer. There is a potentially long-term risk of other types of health problems, including heart disease. But you get the point. So, my doctor, my primary care doctor, has definitely said, you should definitely see a dentist if you're smoking the pipe because it's rubbing against your lip, and especially your lungs do sound good, but obviously my dentist and my doctor have said you really should quit smoking because that's a medical obligation. They have a legal obligation to tell you, and if they didn't tell you, that's a liability to them. So, next thing I want to talk about, and this is almost end of part 1, just to let you guys know, I'm going to split this into part 2 pretty soon. Biggest thing I can attribute to pipe and cigar smoke in terms of health is the dry mouth, the dry gums, and the dry throat. I say in terms of that, the little bit of irritation on my lips, gums, and throat is the biggest thing I can contribute to health. Aside from that little bit of cough in the morning, that's the biggest thing I can contribute. Is a little bit like irritation. A little bit like clearing my throat more often. And just a little bit of irritation. And so that's pretty good after 8 years. The next thing I want to talk about is, and this is probably going to be the last thing, and we're split this into 2 parts, is what I notice in my daily life, health-wise, in terms of smoking. My throat is a little bit more dry and sensitive, so my throat is a little bit more on the sensitive and dry side. My mouth is a little bit more sensitive to hot and cold foods. My lips are a little bit more sensitive to cold weather. I notice if I smoke too much, I get the cough in the morning, so my throat, a little bit more dry and sensitive, a little bit more like clearing your throat, a little bit of irritation, especially in the morning, which is common with smokers. My mouth is a little bit more sensitive to hot and cold foods, not because I have cavities or gum disease, just because a little bit of irritation from the smoke. My lips are a little bit more sensitive to cold weather because the smoke is a little bit irritating them because of the pipe, especially. I notice if I smoke too much, definitely get that cough in the morning, so definitely moderation is key, and definitely staying to that 1 pipe a day, 1 cigar a day, and not like the 2 pipes a day, 3 cigars a day. You get the point. And moderation is the key. So we are actually done with page 2. So I'm going to split this video into 2 parts. So I'll see you in part 2. Bye. Big ass cigar for life.